Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Blueprints and Banter. I am your host, Steve Kona, President and CEO of ABC Florida Gulf Coast Chapter. Let's first start this podcast by thanking our sponsors. I'd like to thank Adams Group, DeWalt, Gaylor Electric, Ginyard Company, Milwaukee Tool, Piper Fire Protection, and Sims Crane for all of your support. Being a Diamond Club member allows us to offer all of this upgraded content to our members, to be able to spotlight them, to be able to promote them, and to be able to promote what we're doing as a chapter. So today, we're all talking about social media and marketing. And my guest, Oliver Carizzi with Avenue Media, is here. Oliver, welcome.
Thank you so much, Steve. I appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, you bet. You bet. So we have partnered with Avenue Media to help us with our social media and our marketing. And now we want to make sure that our members have the ability to learn what we're doing, how they can benefit from that as well.
Oh, that's perfect. So let's start off with this, Steve. I know this is a big hot topic, especially in commercial construction and commercial trades. How many of your members have said to you, we're on the commercial side, we don't need marketing?
Probably more than half.
Yeah, it's a pretty common trend. We hear that often, and there's a really common misconception with marketing, especially on the commercial side of the industry, where the idea is marketing is just to get new projects. We're obviously very familiar with the fact that most of these projects are not going to be coming from Google or from Facebook, but one of those misconceptions, and it's one of the pain points that's faced in the industry currently, is recruitment. Recruitment marketing is a big marketing factor that's missed by a lot of these guys. And I'm sure that you've heard from them, we're struggling with hiring, we're struggling with human capital. And that's an area that marketing can really help them in that department.
No, 100%, because the image of the construction industry, there's an image out there that, it's sweat equity, it's a lot of work. But man, we are the most visually beautiful industry around. Like
Absolutely.
The visuals and the projects that we build are just amazing. And we don't do a good enough job of telling that story and getting people excited about the things that we build.
And you nailed it. It's storytelling. And storytelling reverberates in many different facets of marketing. Storytelling is good for recruitment. Storytelling is good for validating when you're submitting a bid for a project. Maybe the differentiator is not necessarily the fact that you have a nice site, but on that nice site, if you're really showcasing your expertise in the projects that you've done in that specific faction of the industry, it's going to help you tremendously get your bid through.
Yeah, and the one thing that you mentioned in your last statement was recruiting. And just imagine, right? 17-year-old kid who doesn't know what the future holds, looks at a company's website and sees like this amazing project and all of these cool people working on this project and go, you know what, maybe that's something I want to do. And when you talk about recruiting, like we need to tell that story to attract people to come into our industry.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, that storytelling is what's going to bring them into the industry. So let's talk a little bit about ABC. And obviously ABC was really brought up as a way to benefit the industry as a whole. But one of the big factors that take into consideration is the networking and the component of bringing members together. Let's talk a little bit about that, because at the core, that is marketing, right?
No, 100%. It's getting your name and your company out there and making those connections to people that you can build these very productive, constructive relationships with.
So do you have any firsthand examples of certain member relationships that have evolved out of an introduction at ABC, or maybe two members meeting at one of the networking socials that you guys have?
It happens every time. So you go to an ABC event, you're going to meet somebody who is a decision maker for a company, and those decision makers have the opportunity to connect and potentially work together. And it happens at every single ABC event.
Very cool. Yeah, and that's one of the things we love about these types of construction related or just industry specific networking groups, is that you really get the ability to meet all different kinds of groups within the same industry. So let's talk a little bit about the future of marketing in commercial construction. I mean, you're at the forefront of this. You're talking to members on a daily basis. What has really stood out to you in terms of what's been happening, or some of the recent trends that you've been seeing from your side?
I think a lot of trends that we're seeing is that a lot of people want to be active and really spotlight everything that their company is doing. I just don't think sometimes they have the tools or the direction in order to implement said strategy. So and we've been guilty of it. We have all these cool things that we're doing and we want to tell the story, so we just bombard social media with pictures and post, but there's really no strategy around it. And I think that's one of the things that, a partnership like this, where you have somebody to come in and look at it at a different angle and say, let's see if we can better tell the story without just word vomiting everything online. So what are your thoughts?
I mean, like we said earlier, it all goes back to that storytelling aspect. We've been approached so many times in the past by companies and brands that say, we're doing content, we're doing social media, we're doing posts, but we're getting no traction, no result. We don't have a plan. I think that's the keyword to keep in mind is plan. It's that, like you said, you can vomit all this content that you want, but at the end of the day, if there's no real methodology behind the distribution of the content, it's not going to have the results you're looking for. And again, that can be said for any kind of portfolio projects that you're trying to showcase, any kind of recruitment you're trying to do, or really any marketing effort at the core needs to have a good story behind it. And without that story, it's always going to fall short.
Yeah, and I think two avenues for our chapter anyway is that we want to be better storytellers when it comes to workforce development. We want to be better storytellers when it comes to advocacy because we do so much for the industry. We train so many apprentices. We train so many people in professional development. We do so much on the political front that we need to actually showcase all of that and how it benefits the industry, and getting somebody who can tell that story and put us in a way that we can do it strategically is probably what we're looking for in this partnership.
Absolutely. And we're really excited to work with you guys. I think there's going to be so much cool stuff that we can do and really help so many of your members with their own storytelling and ABC as a whole. I mean, I'd love to hear a little bit more about what some of the initiatives and, the plans that you guys have in place for 2025 so that our members can hear a little bit more about it. And
yeah, so what's great in 2025 is it's the year of our Excellence in Construction Awards, and that's when it's really the most visual thing that we do. So we spotlight all of the fantastic construction projects over the last 2 years, and that is where we can really tell the story. And I think with your partnership and help, we can really spotlight our members.
Absolutely. Steve, thank you so much. Really appreciate you taking the time today.
Yeah, you bet. No, this has been great, and we look forward to it. Now, how can people get a hold of you if they would like to use Avenue Media for some of their work?
Absolutely. So thank you for bringing that up. So if anybody is interested in talking to our team about any sort of storytelling, content creation, website branding, you can visit our website. It's www.avenue.to. The extension typically seems a little different than .com, but it means it's more memorable. Or you can just stop by our offices. We're located in downtown Sarasota, right at the corner of Palm Avenue and Main Street. You can stop by our office, meet our team, see our space, and talk to us about your next project.
That's right. And you guys focus on the construction industry, which is why this partnership is so valuable.
That's right. We're only construction centric. So if a client that's outside of the industry approaches us for a project, we'll happily give them the resources that they need, help them in the right direction, point them in the right direction. But we're focused on the industry. We want to help the industry. We want to see the industry grow. And this partnership is going to be one big step in that direction.
Fantastic. Oliver, thanks for being here today. That wraps up another episode of Blueprints and Banter, and we will catch you on the next one.